How are we going, everybody? Now, a while ago we did a Brix test on some potty mix. We trialled some vegetables, some leafy greens in there, and we measured the Brix levels on each one to see which one was the better planting mix or potty mix to grow in. Now, for those who don't know what Brix is, it's the measurement of the sugar content or the levels of sugar in the plant, which technically is basically the nutrient levels in the plant, which is drawn up from the earth. Now, the only way it can have a high Brix level is by feeding it with natural products, organic products, compost, manures, things like that, or even our fertilizers, our superfoods. Now, we did the test there, but it's not only for those leafy plants. Brix is actually used to measure, I should say. A lot of people use it in the grape industry to measure the Brix levels on the grapefruit to know exactly when to harvest them. Now, it's not just for grapes. You can do it on all types of vegetables and fruit. So today I want to actually test these tomatoes, but as I was preparing to do this, I was thinking, you know what, I've got a few fruit trees that are starting to ripen. And you can sort of test by touching and squeezing the fruit to see if it's ripe or not. But you could also test it if you've got one of these. You'll know exactly when to ripen, or when it's ripened, I should say, when to harvest. Now, we'll go through that in a minute, but first let's start with these tomato plants to see where the reading is. The average reading for plants to show that they are strong and healthy and able to defend themselves against pest and disease is around 12. So that's sort of the sweet spot in the Brix measurement. So anything below that, plant can be susceptible to catching a disease and or a pest on it. When it hits 12, they're pretty much resilient against most sucking insects. Slugs and that, well, they sort of like to get into them a bit still, but nowhere near as bad if the measurement was low. So let's see if these are sitting at 6, 8, 10, 12, or whatever number it is. And another thing to factor in as well is the time of day you do the reading, because in the morning the plant will be at its lowest reading before the sun hits them, and by midday, 1, 2 o'clock, it should be at its highest point, and by late afternoon it should be dropping, because what it's doing is photosynthesizing, taking the sun's energy in through the leaves, turning it into sugars and pushing it back down into the earth to feed the microbes, and in return it gets the nutrients it needs from the microbes to grow strong and healthy. It can't happen when there are no microbes in the soil and there is only synthetic fertilizers and a growing medium that won't allow to populate microbes. Here we've got our planting mix, and today at the time we're doing this test is probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Haven't got my watch on me, so the best place to get it is from the top of the plant. That's where most of the energy is going. So we're just going to pinch the second top leaf, that's it there, and then we squeeze it really hard using the garlic press. So just shove all the leaves in there, drop it over. This is a very non-scientific approach because we're not washing our hands and touching the leaves. There we go, we've got some juice there. Now let me just have a look at this. We're sitting at 6. We're going to test the big Malacca here now. This one here is growing on its own away from every other plant, and I've got runners. Actually, no, this is the cutting. This is the leaf cutting I've done here that's taken off wild. Let's test this one out. So this is from the mother plant there, and we took a leaf and we stuck it in the ground. I'm going to take a sample of this one as well. Now this is in the shade because we've got the little construction next to it that's casting a shadow over the top. Pop that in, and let's see if I can get some sun onto this. Oh, 1 second. I can't see it. Where's the sun? Yeah, it's at least 12 or 15. Sorry, folks, for taking so long. And I'd love to show you, but the videographer is not the same videographer I use all the time. And it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get a shot of it. Please trust me that I'm being honest about it. So the first one was 6. This, let's say, was around 12, which is good. So this plant is strong and healthy. The other ones, and it hasn't downloaded its energy yet, I don't think. If it has, it must be a lot higher during the daytime. I reckon the raised beds are actually better than the ground beds. The more I toy around with the raised beds compared to the ground beds, I seem to have better success with them. Maybe it's the soil that I've got here, the grounds and all that, but the raised beds are just really kicking goals. Now, we've just done a quick test on the tomatoes. It's just a couple. What I do want to test is the plum. I'm going to try and find one that's getting plenty of sunlight and feels nice and soft, and a half turn it comes off. Not 100% ripe yet, but still, it is soft. This is the first test. That's not bad. Can be sweeter, but it's not bad. So I think plums should be around 11 or 12 on the Brix. So see if I can squeeze some juice out of this. Really? We got no juice? Pulp again? Wow. A lot of flesh. Okay. Oh, we're on 9. We're on 9 here, folks. Sorry I can't show you, but the reading is 9. So it needs another 2 or 3 clicks on the Brix and these will be ready. So 3/4 there. These are great. If you really want to understand how your garden's growing and how healthy it is, a refractometer is great so you can test the Brix count on every plant in your garden. And it's a good thing to actually practice doing it on a daily basis, maybe not daily, every second day or third day as the plants slowly grow and progress. And obviously the fruit, once they're ripe, you'll be able to taste it, obviously, as the first test, your means test, and then you can actually do a Brix test to get it exactly to the level you want. And if you've got grapes at home and you're making vino, getting close to the season, you might want to consider grabbing one of these to test it to make sure they're at the right level. VasilisGarden.com for everything you need every day. From me, Vasily, Maresi.